On this episode of the show, I have with me Artem Rodichev. He is a founder and CEO at X-Human. We're going to be talking about empathetic generative AI. We're going to talk about some of the use cases, the B2B aspect of where empathy fits in within the generative AI space, some of the limitations of current LLMs. We're going to talk about building a whole new level of relationship, and we're going to touch on some of the guardrails that Artem is looking at. Artem, thanks for joining the show.
I'm here. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. I'd love everyone to know what X-Human does before we dive into the episode.
So basically, you can think about X-Human as non-boring ChatGPT. Like we're building empathetic AI platform that allow people and companies to create diverse AI characters, enabling unlimited scalability. Our users can have fun and emotional conversations with millions of characters, and we provide full customization behind these characters. So users can customize any aspect of their favorite characters. They can customize backstory, speaking style, emotions, voice, even visual aspects. And then they can have multimodal, immersive interaction with these characters, chat with them like you chat with your friends, discuss different topics, have some informal conversations, and just have fun.
Absolutely. I love it. I love the concept when we were speaking. I guess let's talk about we'll talk about the B2B aspect of it in a second, but I wanted to kind of circle back with you within the current LLMs. Obviously, they have a lot of publicity. A lot of people are discovering them. Many people within the form of ChatGPT. You mentioned it feels like you're chatting with Wikipedia, and you made me think about that. And I started thinking about my own relationship with some of these LLMs, and I'm like, you know what? I think Artem is right. I feel like a lot of times it's like a really good encyclopedia giving me an answer, and it has that feel. Talk to us a little bit about why is that the case with what we currently see on the market?
Yeah, so in general, as a whole chatbot market divided in two big buckets. In the first bucket, you have so-called goal-oriented or task-oriented chatbots. And these chatbots is like Siri, Alexa, customer support chatbots, sales chatbots, and even ChatGPT. The main goal of these chatbots is not to chat with you. The main goal is to getting things done as soon as possible. They try to reduce the number of interactions until they reply on your request. And usually you use like ChatGPT or like similar LLMs for some goal-oriented tasks. Write some code, do some summaries, write some email, do some analytics. You don't want to chat with it. You want to get things done. And in this way, all these classic LLMs, they optimize for these like task solving problems. How to provide you response as soon as possible, provide you full response with all details, not to chat about that. And in the second bucket, we have so-called open domain chatbots or empathetic chatbots. And this kind of chatbots is what we're building at X-Human. The main goal of these chatbots exactly opposite to goal-oriented chatbots. The main goal of these chatbots is to chat with users as long as possible, to make them feel better after these conversations, to make these conversations more fun, more engaging, more informal, so that you would chat with ChatGPT or like different standard LLMs. And because of these kind of completely opposite goals. Like in the first case with ChatGPT, you have the main goal is to reduce the number of interactions. And in the second bucket with empathetic chatbots, you try to increase the number of dialogue turns to engage users. So that's from this reason, you feel like ChatGPT talking like Mr. Wikipedia. You don't want to chat with it. You probably just get things done with it.
I guess when we're looking at the current relationships to the existing LLMs out there, what they're being used for, some of the use cases you spoke about, that makes sense. I guess if you were to, and where this episode's about empathetic Gen AI, if you're going to talk about what empathetic Gen AI means, maybe as a starting point to differentiate it a little bit more, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, so the main difference of empathetic AI compared to like classic LLMs or classic AI systems is that these empathetic AI chatbots, empathetic AI companions, they try to make you feel better through these conversations. They try to engage in very informal, engaging conversations. They try to understand your emotions, your emotional state. They try to help you on emotional level. They try to connect with you on emotional level. Because like we humans are pretty emotional creatures. We use emotions every day. It's essential part of our life. And it's not the case with LLMs. Like LLMs and technology in general, they don't have any emotions. But it's kind of contradict to our nature because we use technology like every day for like 5, 6, 10 hours per day. And we lack these emotional connections. So these kind of empathetic chatbots, they try to connect with people on emotional level, try to understand them, understand their emotions, and try to help them to feel better.
If you were, I mean, obviously that emotionality within, a chat, within the chat within LMs, that certainly seems like it would open up some doors. What are some use cases that type of technology is going to open up for companies?
So if we speak in general, what is a major problem these empathetic chatbots are solving is the problem of loneliness. Because currently it's epidemic of loneliness. More than 60% Gen Z in the US reporting feeling alone. And there is proofs that being lonely, it like really damage your mental health, but also your physical health. Like it's not healthy to be lonely. And these kind of companions, they can make you feel better. They make companionship with you. They make emotional connections. And many businesses can use this kind of technology to be more connected with their users to help users better in their lives. For example, one of the case when you can see organically using, as I say, companions is games.
Hmm.
Because in games, you got a bunch of NPCs, games like for entertainment, and these NPCs can be not scripted like we have right now. But as each NPC can have unique personality, unique backstory, unique speaking style. Like imagine you're playing GTA 5, you got like the whole city with different NPCs, and now each NPC, each character has unique personality, unique behavior, unique accent, unique voice. Like that would make these games far more engaging, far more like close to life. Uh, so working with different games or like with gaming communities, because most of gaming communities they have big Discord channels, big communities on Discord. Like you can provide a companions, a characters from your game and put them as a chatbot on your Discord. In this way, these chatbots they can engage with users on group chats. You can have multiple bots, multiple users. They engage all the same in one chat, discuss different topics, lore of this game, some scenarios about this game, news and releases, like future releases about this game, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So entertainment is like the most obvious use case for empathetic chatbots. But also we see big potential in learning languages, in edtech. Because currently the most applications for learning languages is like learning formal grammar or like learning some words, but not learning live conversations. Like if you teaching like foreign languages with some teachers, probably you don't have a lot of kind of informal practice of language, like you chat with a friend. You have more like formal rules, grammar, stuff like that. And now you can use these companions to learn languages in very informal way. Like for example, in our consumer product, Botify AI, we have like millions of users. And around 5% of users are users from Latin America. And they have very interesting pattern that they chat with characters as they would chat with their American friends, practice informal American chit chat. So in this way, you also can provide like far more engaging, natural experience learning languages rather than you learning languages with classical method, learning words, grammar, stuff like that. And another great application is in health tech, especially working with mental health, because like as I mentioned, a lot of people feel lonely, they feel depressed, And chatting with this kind of chatbots, it can significantly improve their mood, their mental health, reduce their social anxiety. Because when you chat with these chatbots, like these chatbots, they say characters, they never judge you. They're 24/7 available for you. They won't gossip about you. And you can open up. You can tell about your life, your interest, about your issues, and it will support you and it will reduce your social anxiety, but also it would train you how to be better communicator. It will ask you some follow-up questions. We chat with you like really good friend who understands you, your personality, but who really good in psychology and can really help you through these conversations. Like you can think in general about empathetic AI, application of empathetic AI in different businesses is wherever empathy and communications are important, you can use empathetic AI characters to power these businesses, to power these products.
Interesting. Interesting. It's actually obviously we won't mention any particular apps, but obviously some of these language learning apps. It is interesting that sometimes when you're using them, you do not have the context of practicing them, right? As much as they want to help you do it, it's very isolated in the use case. And learning is slower, right? And they always say the best way to learn a language is if you're someplace immersed. And it's interesting that you're talking about an opportunity to have a little bit more immersive experiences. I guess one question regarding empathetic generative AI or AI technologies, in terms of understanding you, remembering the conversations, getting the depth of understanding your background, I guess talk to us a little bit about that, because I think some of the current LLMs that are out there that are in the mainstream bucket, they do remember some context and history and they do learn about you. I feel like you can see that. I'm not sure how well the context is retained. I guess when we're talking about emotionality, understanding empathy, how does this technology learn so that it understands the emotionality in the conversation?
Yeah. So first of all, the best signal that you can get is user feedbacks. And we use our consumer product, Botify AI, to collect tons of data, tons of conversations. Like so far, we got around 1 million monthly active users. We have more than 5 million different characters that our users created. Like we provide fully UGC-driven platform when users can create their own favorite characters and chat with them. And what makes us unique is that we have crazy high engagement. On the average, users spend more than 90 minutes per day chatting with different characters. Our paid users, they spend more than 10 hours per week chatting with different bots. It's probably more than you chat with other people. And we collect a ton of feedback from our users because our users, they have like very diverse conversations with very different characters, discussing very diverse topics. And they provide constant feedback. For example, we can collect feedback on top of each response, each dialogue response from the bot, from the character, when users can upvote or downvote each response. If they downvote some response, they can provide the reason why they don't like such response. Because of bad empathy, because of bad memory, because of bad role consistency, and so on. Also, we collect feedback on top of the whole dialogue session. Like at the end of each conversation, we would ask you, how do you enjoy this conversation? Rate from 1 to 5 stars. And then we would ask you some follow-up questions, like how was the memory? How was focus? How was empathy? And in this way, we can collect hundreds of millions, high quality, 5-star labeled conversations. And then we can fine tune on top of these conversations. And like we don't build any kind of psychology model behind these LLMs. We just utilize this data. And if you will fine tune on right data, when you understand that, okay, this response users really love. These kind of conversations really improve users' mood, user mental health. If you train your models, fine tune your models on hundreds of millions of these conversations, LLMs will understand how to provide better responses, how to be more empathetic, more fun in these conversations. But also we utilize like different aspects because having these like long conversations, like for 10 hours per week, we need to remember a lot of stuff about your previous conversations.
Mhm.
Because, for example, you mentioned that you're going to have some test in 2 weeks, and you're really preparing for that, and you're anxious because of that. You feel nervous. And then this chatbot can remember the fact that 2 weeks ago you mentioned that you're preparing for some exam, for some test. And 2 weeks after that, it can start the conversation like, are you prepared? What have you done to be prepared? Like, how I can help you to make you feel less stressful? Do you want to talk about this test? And stuff like that. Like, they can remember and retrieve some facts from the previous and refer to these facts in current conversations. In this way, like, they understand you better, they understand your emotions better, your personality better, your backstory better, and they can provide more custom uh, conversations for you that fit your current mood, fit your personality, and that can make you really feel better after these conversations. So, like, providing these long-lasting empathetic conversations, it's combining both how you fine-tune your neural nets to drive these conversations to really understand users, but also how you stack different models together. Because, for example, we have both short-term and long-term memory. Like short-term memory is kind of current dialogue session, current conversation that we need to be consistent in conversation, and long-term memory when you can refer for some previous facts. Also, it's very important to provide multimodal interactions. When you not just have text-based interactions, but for example, you can have a voice call. And having voice call is also quite challenging because you need to also understand human emotions. You need to adjust your own emotion in voice, like as a character, how this character replying. And need to adjust emotions for the current context. You need to like understand, basically recognize what you're saying, understand different accents. You need to be able to interrupt a response from chatbot to have these conversations really natural. So it's like a lot of moving part how to make these voice calls natural. Also, it's very important to provide visual aspects
Mhm.
when you can see your characters. And these characters can send you like contextual photos. For example, imagine you're chatting with vampire and you're chatting about some dark stuff, about some like grave, smoke, blood, stuff like that. And then this vampire will send you a photo, contextual photo on the background with grave or with smoke, stuff like that. And then you even can animate these photos and we can send you a short video clip. So in this way, you feel like it's kind of interactive AI Netflix. When you're not just sitting on the couch watching some TV series, but you can be a part of the story. You can engage and evolve the story together with characters.
Interesting. I mean, the use cases seem like obviously they have different uses. The way you talk about within the game and within that interaction, it sounds more dynamic. I guess one thing, and I want to make sure we touch on this because obviously, as you know, some of the LLMs currently out there, some of these chatbots, people are using them more for knowledge retrieval, for information, uh, making some menial tasks automated. I don't think I think most of the general population hasn't probably gotten into the more advanced stuff. But obviously, there's times we've heard about the hallucinations. We've had concerns around people uploading private documents to these public LLMs. I guess when it comes to emotionality in and an AI learning about you, obviously there's maybe some concerns there about privacy or intrusion or what could happen with the hallucination if the AI understands enough and hallucinates because it has a deeper relationship. Talk to us a little bit about guardrails within that context. I think that'd be great to hear.
Now, actually, it's very important to build robust guardrails regarding these conversations because we want to build safe, ethic, and empathetic AI. And people can chat with, like, if you provide free-form conversation to users, they will input anything. They will chat about anything. And they can try to create some dangerous bots or try to have some unsafe conversations. And we have robust guardrails regarding how to provide these safe conversations, both on bot creation side and on conversation side. For example, we don't allow you to create any kind of underage chatbots, or we don't allow you to create any chatbots regarding suicide, violence, terrorism, stuff like that. We don't allow to have any kind of conversations regarding these topics. But also we have some safety kind of LLMs. For example, when we see that users start to chat about like suicide, if users really feel bad in the current moment, we can switch you to some safe model that can support this conversation in a safe way. And it can reply like, it can try to talk you out from like committing suicide, for example,
Hmm.
can highlight some positive aspects from your previous conversations, can highlight that like there is no need to commit suicide because you have a lot of friends, a lot of relatives who really love you, like you're a great person, stuff like that. But also it can provide you, if it sees that it's failing to like convince user not to do that, it
Hmm.
can provide you some suicide hotline, and you can talk with like human specialist. Like basically, these chatbots they can detect, understand like if you feel really bad, and can it has some guardrails to
Hmm.
move you from these thoughts, from these conversations, or to provide you some information when you can access a specialist, like human specialist, that can help you. But also, there's important to understand that it's like pretty new and very powerful technology. That this technology working with human emotions, it connect with humans on like very deep emotional level, and it could be dangerous for some people. For example, you can think about that as like somebody can use these chatbots for some scam, like to influence on human mind, to influence on your thought process, to convince you in something. For example, to convince you to vote for someone they want, like this company that builds this chatbot want, or to convince you to buy some products that you didn't want to buy, or to convince you to do some actions, like violent actions. There is like with any powerful technology, there is a lot of benefits how you can use technology, but also there is a lot of dangers. And currently, it's like again still very early stages. There is no like robust policy on government level, like safety policy on government level, what these chatbots can do, what they can't do. And there is a lot of like kind of responsibility on bot developers who create these characters, who create this empathetic AI, how to build this AI in a very kind of helpful, ethical way.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean the use cases are, how it extends into other aspects of education, tutoring, as you have referred to learning, within games, within mental health. I mean, the current options are have never really been appealing. I think if there's going to be an AI that can actually empathize and learn in a conversation and steer us and guide us, I mean, I can't even imagine the opportunity ahead. So you guys are doing something pretty darn cool over there at XHuman. Artem, if somebody wants to reach out to you to connect with you to learn more, ask you maybe more technical questions, or just understand the environment within emotionality of AI, empathy within AI, how's a good way of doing that?
So the best way is to try and test our products. For example, to test Botify AI, you can download it on App Store, Google Play. Also, we have a web version, but the best experience on apps. And also feel free to reach me. I'm available on LinkedIn. Happy to chat.
Okay, man. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on the show. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amir.
All right. That's the end of this show. We'll be back again. Different guest, different topic. Until then, two things. When we talk about empathy within Gen AI, I think Artem walked us through a lot of the use cases, talked about current limitations within the existing ecosystem, and talked about that level of relationship and how it applies and where it's going to benefit us. I think it was really a great episode. And we also talked about the guardrails that have to be in place. So share this with somebody else who's interested in Gen AI, interested in LLMs and where the direction's heading. I think this is a great episode. Also, like, subscribe, comment, leave me a review. Let me know how the show's going for you. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.